Warning, the following program may contain strong language, as well as adult or controversial themes. Viewer discretion is advised.
Go, Catherine.
Welcome, everybody, to the Around the Grid panel on Project Zero. For some of you, you may not have heard about the Project Zero, but it was announced back in January 2nd that Second Life and the Linden Lab have literally put together a special process where you can log into Second Life through your web browser. They originally had it opened up for 10 minutes per user. And it was so popular that they ended up extending to a full hour. When they extended it to a full hour, we thought it'd be a great time to check in with people who might have used it or might not have used it. The reason for this new adventure from Linden Lab is that they had such a negative loss of audience as a result of PBR introduction that they wanted to create something that would bring back the audience that had left because they couldn't run Second Life. And this is what they created in its stead. It's planned to be tested fully and then eventually fully launched to new users and existing users. But like I said, for now, you can go in for an hour and do pretty much everything you normally do. And they're even considering using third-party viewers, like launching Firestorm for Second Life through a web browser. So it's a kind of an interesting way of getting people to come back in who enjoy socializing, want to listen to music, and just do pretty much what they want to do. But just do it so that without having to totally stress over your computer.
Well, yes. So we have a small panel today. It's Catherine, it's me, and it's Naria. Welcome, Naria. Welcome
Hi.
again.
Thank you.
So we can have a little bit of a talk on this whole new project, which, I mean, 1 hour, that's I know the costs are high, and that's something that Oberwager was telling us yesterday on a call, on the blogger call, that the costs for streaming are incredibly high. But 1 hour feels a little bit restrictive, of course. At least it's not the 10 minutes that they had before. Have you had a chance to use it a bit, Naria?
Yeah, I was in it probably for like 10 minutes just to check it. I mean, for me personally, it's much better than the mobile app, right? Because I was checking the mobile app, especially when I was, let's say, on vacation or something, that I couldn't, go to Second Life through my computer and stuff. But yeah, the mobile app is definitely lacking a lot still, right? So, I mean, for browser, I think it's a lot better, though, it's the same problem when you don't have the access to the computer. But I think it's better now. I mean, it's cool if they will fix the problems with crashing and, doing PBR and stuff like that, right? But yeah, 1 hour is really, really restrictive, right? Because you know how much time we spent actually in Second Life, right?
It is a little bit low there. The other thing that I noticed is, in terms of FPS, it can get a little bit low depending on where you are, which I would expect a little bit more efficiency on a streaming platform like that.
Yeah, I think I remember I was in it was like loading really slow, and I do have a good computer anyway, right? So it is like, I don't know, it should be
Yeah,
a
but
little bit better, right?
on that
Yeah,
case,
through
it
browser
shouldn't.
has nothing to do with it. Yeah,
Yeah, it wouldn't have anything to do with that. But yes, I've seen situations where it's a little bit.
I know, but if you're using a browser, you want it to be a little bit better than your apps, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
if you're using
Firestorm or stuff, right?
exactly. If you're using a streaming solution, you're kind of expecting the same thing as you do when you're doing streaming gaming. When you're playing on Xbox Live through streaming instead, or any of the other platforms where you can stream the game instead of installing it on your computer, it's supposed to run faster.
I mean,
It's
that
supposed to
was
run
their
fast, and you
point,
can
right?
run it from anywhere. Yeah, that was the point of the whole process. But if it's if you still get lag spikes or FPS drops, it becomes a little bit what is happening after this. After all,
Mhm.
I don't know, Catherine. So far, I know you've gone through a little bit of that. What's your opinion?
You know, the only thing that really bugs me, this is and this is something that they did warn about it, is that the window is bigger on this particular thing. So you literally have to use the bars on the side and the bottom to move around the screen because you won't see the whole screen on your monitor. So that is kind of a bit of a pet peeve for me. What I did, I running it on my computer. I do have a gaming computer, but running on my computer, I didn't have issues with lag, but I also didn't go to any place where I would be doing machinima or filming or anything. I'm actually tempted because there's a huge party happening, a 5th anniversary party that somebody invited me to. That for a club, and I'm tempted to go and try it there and do machinima from there and see how that works.
Yeah,
See
but
if,
again, your gaming computer probably runs better than their streaming platform at that point.
But I'm not really using my equipment. It's just streaming. It's basically I'm using their equipment. So if for some reason it's laggy on their side, it I don't think it would have anything to do with me. But I am curious. I want to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You can try any big event also, right?
Yeah,
with lots of people on it. Did you?
You log into it and drop into Warehouse 21 and then feel the burn. Feel as it destroys their servers.
Which could be funny, actually.
Like you have to stress test it.
Exactly. That would be the good way to stress test it properly. And actually, I am not sure if that is not something that was being done recently, because me and July were at Warehouse 21 the other day, and there was a crowd. There was a small crowd forming at the entrance because Philip popped up over there for a few seconds. So maybe he logged in through that and was trying to check it, but most likely not. Lewis, Blair, July, do you have any comments you want to leave on the chat that we can read out? Anything you'd like to point out? Or Blue? I don't know if we still have Blue.
Concerned about?
No, we don't.
Yeah, Blue. We lost Blue.
Yeah, we lost Blue.
I mean, I have. One of the things that they bring up about this was there's still a huge learning curve for SL. Yeah, sure, you can log in with a basic Avi and, open an account and do that, but is it going to be even worth your time to do that on a web browser if the learning curve is still so crazy difficult?
I think Second Life has a problem of keeping people, right? Because, people nowadays lose interest so fast. It's like I've seen numerous people try to do Second Life, but when they like start it, right? But when they come in and it's like so complicated, because we all know it's complicated at the start, right? No matter where you are, through browser, through Firestorm, through mobile app, wherever you go, it's such a learning curve that it's hard to keep people inside, right, and interested. It's fun when you figure everything out, but I don't think people have the attention span anymore to put so much time in to it, right? They're just like, next game, you know what I mean?
Well,
Well-
and that's what they were talking about. They were talking about changing the entire user interface.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, is that possible? Is that realistic? At least, I mean, it sounds like a multi-year project. It doesn't sound like a 5-minute thing. Because when they did Senra, we all know how Senra turned out.
Yeah, horrible.
It was a tragic disappointment for a lot of people.
The idea was nice, right? That you just build your avatars are not there. Of course not, because you can see how everybody else looks in Second Life, and Senra avatars are not it, right? And then you already lose interest when you see the Senra avatars, right? And you're like, nah. But yeah, the idea was nice that you can build your avatar before you enter the game, right? That you could dress it and put hair on it. But, I wish there was better options, because let's be honest, we have so much better options in world than what Senra avatars are offering at the start, right?
Yeah, that's true. So July was pointing out she did try to push the online viewer to full graphics on her sim, and her sim is extremely detailed. It's heavy. It is very heavy. And the whole thing dropped to under 10 frames per second. And not only that, it's locked to 1080p when, for example, she has a 4K ultra wide screen. So if the whole viewer is locked to a smaller view window, it's a little bit. It becomes a tiny bit of a disappointment at that point. Nowadays, if you're going to stream games, you want to stream them at 4K in most cases. Mm-hmm. So if they don't even provide that kind of capability, it's a little bit disappointing. Welcome, Chili. Welcome, Jasmine. So we're discussing the Project Zero viewer. And if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to give them. If you'd like to join the voice conversation, feel free to ask, and we'll add you as well. And if you'd like to join us in World, we have a link here as well, so you can come and sit over with us. We have an audience. We have some audience seats, and we have our sofa as well. So we can all have a talk on this. But yes, as for the Senra, I still stick to what I said before. I think I said that on the discussion we had before. The whole thing feels very much like almost a copy of the screens for character creations on early Sims games. Same sort of blue, same style of character. It was very much trying to pull that to the front of everyone's brain, so they feel something familiar, I think.
I just added. Sorry, just for those of you who are in the audience, and I just added the link for Project Zero. I do want to say it out loud just in case, because I know some people may not see our Around the Grid chat and Discord. It's https://0.secondlife.com if you want to log in World through Project Zero and check it out.
Yeah, I wanted just to add for Linden Lab. I don't know, lately I just feel like everything is pushed out before it's ready, right? I don't know, like with Senra avatars, with the mobile app, now with this one, right? I know it's still in testing, but still, it's lacking so much, and I don't know if they will fix it in time, right? Because we all know what's happening with mobile apps and how Senra. I don't know, everything is so rushed, right? At some point, they have a lot of time to develop, but at the end, it just feels rushed, right? I don't know what's happening, but yeah.
Yeah, trying to do a lot at the same time. And not only that, I mean, we've seen how it went with PBR.
Mm.
And I'm curious to see what is going to happen now also with GLTF, because Blender is dropping support for DAE files, and Blender is the most used the most used tool for 3D production, even for Second Life as well. But since Second Life deals with DAE files, I'm wondering if they're going to deal with anything regarding that.
Well, they'll have to, right? I hope.
Yeah, but that's going to be another one that's going to be hard to deal with. It would be great if they would allow uploads of FBX files already with the textures and everything already. That would be fantastic, but we'll see.
Now, there was an announcement just recently, and this was a public announcement, so that's why I'm bringing it up. There was Linden Lab has decided that they are taking a brand new approach with regard to copybotting, to the point where they are now really making sure that anybody who's caught is literally going to lose their account, and access and everything that goes along with it, which is interesting. And we're talking copybotting, not as in copybotting something it's copybotting and selling.
And
one thing is
and buying anything that is copybotted, as long as you are aware that what you're buying is a product of copybotting, you are also on the line for that, on the hook for that one.
Yeah, but for some that would be hard to figure out they're buying something copybotted, no?
Yes, but there are things that they will have to work out, because one of the questions I asked them yesterday was regarding how you're going to figure out. There are several marketplaces out there, like ArtStation, that sell a bunch of clothes, and you can buy them perfectly legally, and then rig them and sell them. And a lot of creators, really, that is a very high percentage of creators who purchase things like that. That's why you see so many shops sometimes that have products that look like they are exactly the same. It's not a product of copybotting. It's because they went and they bought the same ArtStation thing.
Yeah, basically they got the template.
So
and
they got the same thing. They moved it around with Marvelous Designer. Maybe it was a slight difference, but it's basically the same product. Meaning, when they're selling a similar thing with different textures. And some of them may think that one copybotted my content. They didn't. They bought the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's going to be many cases of situations like that, and how are they going to handle that as well.
Even in World, there are full perm stores where you can go and buy a full perm template that you can texture, and it's a full perm template of shoes. I knew somebody who actually she was leaving Second Life, and she had a shoe store, and she was going to give away all of her full perm templates and sell them. Because they were fully transferable, being that they are full perm. Granted, they were shoes that pretty much everybody already had, like stilettos and boots and similar to, stuff that we'd already seen, but it was a chance for you to not start completely from scratch if you wanted to do a shoe store.
Mm.
So, and those were perfectly, legit things that they had bought along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the easiest will be whoever, will report copybotting or whatever to send in some evidence or something, so they don't they don't use too much manpower to discover what is true, what is not, what is actually just a full permission bought item, or it's bought somewhere else on some other pages that are selling mesh, right?
Yes, because one of my concerns is they're pointing out that they're considering on using AI to help on that, on determining if it's copybotted or not. AI trying to identify if these two items are the same or not, I don't feel like that is a very.
It sounds really risky to me.
Do we want to trust the same system that keeps giving 6 fingers to people's hands to determine if these are the same two items?
If you leave this to AI, maybe there will be a lot of mistakes just determining that maybe is a copy botted item. They're banned people are pissed after it, right? You can have a lot of pissed residents behind you then that they will start talking bad about Second Life because they got banned for no good reason, right?
Exactly. So it's not an easy one. It's not an easy thing to go, and that's exactly what you were saying, Aria. Whoever is accusing someone of copybotting, they better bring in the receipts. They better bring in all the proof. So that this is why I'm saying that they're copybotting because of this. And then if there is an absolute proof of that, because if they're like, they're copybotting because this item is exactly the same. Okay, did you produce that item from scratch or did you buy it somewhere? And made minimal changes or no changes at all, because that's a completely different situation.
I'm just wondering how many of those, complaints will they get in though, because you know how Second Life is, right? They might get a lot on their hands all of a sudden.
That's one of the things that Oberwolf was saying is don't start weaponizing this to take down your competitors, because we don't want that, and that's just hurting everyone.
Yeah, but this might happen probably in a lot of cases.
Exactly, because there's always that kind of concept of, oh, I was doing that. Why are you doing the same thing? What, we can't have ideas that are similar?
Yeah, exactly. They all take something from Pinterest. It's like, oh, you took my idea. No, we just checked the same real life photo and we did something with Mesh, right? And it's like...
Exactly.
They're all taking ideas from real life. Sometimes they take the same ones. Of course, it happens, right?
Yeah,
and then,
especially if it's like, okay, so you both did outfits from Squid Game. Yeah, that's because what's on Netflix right now running, so everybody's doing that stuff.
Doing it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Didn't Matt B even do like a full-on game for Squid Game, or somebody actually created a game that was similar to the whole thing? They did a thing.
There is a game where on Second Life, or just a game, because there is a game that is just like
Second
that.
Life.
Yeah.
There probably is. It's almost certain that there is a Squid Game sim out there somewhere where you can go and play. I can tell you that that is an almost.
Share it with us.
Yeah, that is almost certain. Come on,
I
you
think I heard
can
that
find
somebody
anything.
did the games, right? But I didn't check it out yet where it is.
You can find almost anything around. So I wouldn't doubt that at all. It's that's the magic of Second Life, is what you can find out there if you just go and look.
I mean, they've done Bridgerton balls and Bridgerton dresses and Bridgerton everything, so I'm sure they can do Squid Game. Squid Game is nothing new.
Yeah, there's a bit of everything. There are very specific rules, especially in mainland, to not put anything political. And I have come across in mainland Zindra, so the adult continent, 2 pieces on right next to the road, where one had a giant. It was still, I think, during the Trump-Clinton campaign. One had a giant Trump figurine, and the other, and right next to it was a giant Hillary. And those two landowners were just fighting it off, just putting stuff like that against each other, right next to the road. Which goes completely against the rules, but nobody was caring. And I passed by it several times just to have a laugh.
You can find anything on mainland. Let's be
honest. You can find all of it, everything. It doesn't matter.
Rules or no rules.
and I found incredible things on mainland anyway. One of my favorite theme parks is on mainland, not too far from where I live, and it's been there for years. Has a lot of rides. It's really fun. You just have to explore a bit. That's the magic of the whole thing. And it's good that it's still there. I mean, considering that last year they closed Magic Land, which was a pity. It was around for so long. I don't know if you've ever been there, Naria.
Before I think I went on the last day of closing, or we went there. We just went on all the rides, and we're just having fun there.
What I found funny was I dropped around that area after the date of closing. The land was still theirs, but they had basically taken everything down, and they actively add piles of dirt and construction equipment there to basically give a notion that we bulldozed the whole thing.
Well, some old stuff has to get away for new stuff to come in sometimes, right?
Yeah, but that one was a classic. That one was a classic. I actually was expecting Linden Lab to actually come down and do the thing that they usually do with some of these places and just keep it. Because
they can't do everything, I guess.
No, they can't keep everything. But I mean, if they can't keep that giant ship that is off the coast that nobody goes to, why can't they keep a theme park open?
Yeah,
the Titanic.
Galaxy, no, not even the Titanic.
Galaxy.
Titanic at least would be more interesting. Galaxy was a cruise ship, and they actually had rooms that they rented out. I'm still surprised that they don't rent the rooms out, because the rooms, I'm sure, are still pretty nice. But
It's all
used to be
trims,
a big old party place. It used to be a party place, and it's like there's nobody taking the mantle for parties there, so it's kind of sad.
No.
And, not great.
I just remember one huge ship, because we were sailing around SL a little, and we stumbled upon one huge ship, like looking really old, like, from back in the days, right? So I don't know if that was the Galaxy one, or I don't know, something similar, some cruise ship, like just standing there on mainland. Nobody was in, so it was empty, right? But really huge with rooms and everything. So maybe we stumbled upon that one.
It could have been that ship has been in 2 or 3 different places because it was in the middle of the ocean, and then they moved it over to the coast, and then they moved it over to another part of the coast, I think. So yes, it could have been that one. It's like 4 sims, I think.
Yeah, it's huge.
4 sims long. It's huge, and it's still around. But I mean, if they can keep that, why not keep? Maybe because I think there was an agreement with Disney to allow for that one to be up without any issues, or maybe that came up to an end or something. Yeah. Because Magic Land had really a lot of Disney property stuff in there.
Yeah.
But if you still want to go for rides, you can go to the unknown one. Yeah.
Isn't the Haunted Mansion still around, though? The original Haunted Mansion on SL somewhere?
I mean, they have one that they open up every time on Halloween, but I'm not sure if that's the one. You have the asylum.
Linden Lab.
Yeah, you have, for example, the asylum just before Bay City, which is also supposed to be haunted. That one's still there. Nobody goes there, but it's still there. I don't know if you've ever been there, Kat.
Probably not.
Yeah, there's a few things to look around Bay City. We have to get back to the history videos and do them again so we can cover on those. That whole area has a lot of history to go through. But yeah, if they keep that and they keep the mall that they have also around that area, It's still up and running. Why not something like that? That's a pity.
Goofy question. Magic Land was the place that used to do
It was the Disneyland place, the one that looked like Disneyland.
It looked like Disneyland. Yeah, they had it's a
wasn't there more
small
than one?
world ride, right? They had like really similar rides to like just Disneyland, right? And they had that pink castle, like it was cute. I saw it on the last day of closing, it was fun because there were also a lot of people there because it was the last day before closing, right?
Yeah,
So another Disneyland area too, though, that I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. There was another Disneyland area.
One?
I don't recall seeing another one. I used to take people there just to torture them on the small world ride, because that thing moves so slow and it's the same song over and over. It's a great torture for people. It's a great way to torture people. And now I can't do it.
Yeah, we went on that one too. I know. You have to find some other slow ride to take them on. There are plenty of them in us, I'm sure.
There's probably a few, but that one was the best. And they had the whole Star Wars thing as well, yes, and that Captain EO with Michael Jackson. They had that part of that movie as well there. That's why I think that there may have been something from Disney to actually pulling it down.
Was there? But did they have the characters walking around? Or did they have people walking around and volunteers and stuff over there?
They had, there was a time when they had festivals at the end of the day. They did the fireworks thing and all of that, and they would have people there, and you could go and ask for autographs and all of that.
But at the end, no, there was was nobody there. Like actually, like like dressed into something, right? Probably because it was like an old thing, right? And almost closing. Probably they didn't have even staff anymore to work.
Yeah,
there.
That's more probably a thing. So Lewis was saying that they really should focus on improving the grid before they bring something new out, in his opinion, right? No. Or does he or what he says is wrong? No, I agree to that. And the biggest thing is, if you're going to bring people in, the way you welcome them in, the way you introduce them to the whole world has to be better, has to be more intuitive, and has to be more helpful. And they've tried a lot of things. They've done these new introduction areas, but they're not very effective.
They're not even up to date that much, I think, right? They still look old to me personally, right? Even they have the new, and also it's like go to role play areas, and everywhere you go, right, through these portals, you land somewhere alone. There's nobody there, right?
Yeah. And one of the things. Go on. Sorry.
Go. No, I wanted to say it's like they need to put more, the areas, like they send them to more occupied areas, because you have like in your destination you have what's hot now, let's say, or you have the editor picks where you have these gorgeous sims, right? Maybe they could incorporate that when you start, right? To start in a better looking sim, or you go to a better looking sim, because through these portals, when people stop the tutorials and they want to go somewhere, because you don't know how to teleport around the world when you start, right?
Yeah,
you don't know where to go exactly.
There's a couple of problems there.
Yeah. I don't know. People just get lost. I know a lot of people get lost at the start, like totally lost.
They do. But one of the things, and I've shown a video to Catherine. The video is, I think it's already like 2 or 3 years old anyway, but it's still relevant to that. Of a gamer that I sometimes follow. He does a lot of Elder Scroll videos and stuff like that. But he went and he decided, I'm going to see how Second Life is when I go in, and I think it was 2021 or something like that.
Mm.
And the fact is,
yep,
he did go to the most popular places. And if you just created your avatar and you teleport to almost any of the places on the most popular list, you're getting kicked out. You're getting kicked
Also
out because you're too young. Because your avatar is not old enough. And that is a problem. Yeah, that is a problem. That automatically makes people not want to be around, because if the only places you can actually go to are empty, yeah, what's the point? It's not all the places that you can go to, because then you can go to London City and look at all the trolls. Yeah, look at all the trolls in there.
And there's a lot of them. That's what's sad about London City. London City is a troll and pickup spot. I have been propositioned more times in London City than I can count. And it's not like I was dressed or looked really sexy that day. It was just one of those things where there are just a lot of pervs that hang out there.
Yes, you didn't go to karaoke time in London City. You know how much fun is that? We were singing karaoke last time there. I mean, you have different times, right? It can be really trolly, or we came there a couple of times and we just had fun, right? Depends on what kind of people you stumble upon, right? But yeah, I bet if you're new and you get dropped into London City right away, I think you're just living Second Life at that point. Or if you are a troll, maybe you find it interesting. But yeah, maybe not the best place to start, right?
Yeah. And the other thing, and this is something we pointed out to Philip on the call at the beginning of the month, that opening area, so you get to that opening area, and there is a shopping area right there to help you out to start. That shopping area contains one AO shop. Yes, you do need an AO, so that's good. Mm-hmm. Then multiple furniture shops, one vehicle shop, one pet shop. There is one skin shop, if I remember. I don't recall seeing a single clothing shop, and there are none of the body shops in there. If I'm a new user, how am I going to build my avatar like that? I don't need a car or any vehicle. I don't need furniture because I don't have a home. What do I need these shops for?
Yeah, true.
In my opinion, the best option you could do there would be to actually make an agreement with all of those bigger brands and set up a mini freebie area, like a mini freebie galaxy, where you put a few free things for new users. You're a new user, you're under this much age, you can come over here and get these things.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think
running.
That would be great.
Yeah.
And have sections where they show you how to put it. I mean, because the reality is, look, everybody who I know who wants to stay or wants to come into a Second Life, if they're new and they want to learn stuff, the first thing I do, I go Gina's Project, free head. I go to any place that I know you can get a free head, a free body, and free clothes.
They should just put them in one place.
Yeah.
Well, as a welcome hub, absolutely. There should be definitely a welcome hub mall that kind of caters to that. I mean, that's what we had Paloma Picasso's Free Dove
Plaza,
for.
yeah. That's what I said. Paloma or Free Dove or Paloma Plaza now, right? Is so close to kind of getting all this together, right? But yeah, nobody knows how to find it, right? If you're new to Second Life.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't point you at that way, right? It wouldn't be the first instinct to go there, actually, right? To
and they have
Plaza,
nice stuff. They really have nice. Some of them have really nice hair
is
and
nice
really
there.
nice stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They should be at the starting area, right? With the free body and the free head. That would be the most ideal thing, right?
Exactly. And for those brands, it would just be a way for them to promote themselves. Yeah, to promote themselves. It would. I mean, it's good marketing. Lelutka gives out heads every year during Christmas. Without a free head there.
You know how many times I was saying how nice it would be if Lelutka would have a free head out whole year around, just one, right?
Yeah.
Like it could be something just...
Exactly.
The
Put one
worst
for
one,
each.
if you want, just put one out for all year around, just for a starter. If you're gonna get them used to Lelutka, of course, new people will go to Lelutka and buy new heads. Also, who has one head in general? Nobody, right? You always buy something new from time to time. So, not a lot of people stay with just one head, right?
Very true. Very true.
Uh,
I mean, there's a whole sale right now happening at LAC. They're doing an Evo X head that's on sale for, I think, 100 linden. It's totally cheap. They have gifts for skin and stuff so that you can use it. I mean, the problem is no one knows. You're right. It's not consolidated into one place. It's not like it's in a video or in some kind of a blog somewhere that is automatically easily accessed by a new user who just lands in Second Life for the first time. And that's one of the biggest challenges is setting it up so that is in there.
Yeah, that's true. It's those things that really need to be improved so that new users stick around. Not
I don't
kicking
think the
them out
biggest problems
immediately.
is lag, right, and stuff like like you said, PBR. Okay, they lost probably a lot of people on that, but it's also they're not getting probably that many new users in even, right? Because people give up before they kind of see what Second Life is.
Yeah, because PBR and this whole lag issue coming from PBR made Second Life lose older users that were there before, because they can't. A lot of South America has either dropped or is not able to stay for very long because they don't have the capacity to have machines that run everything better, and everything is a lot more expensive to go and upgrade those machines. And so they're like, what do I do? I've heard so much of that from a lot of Brazilians, Argentinians, a lot of people on South America having that kind of issue. So that made them lose some of the existing people. But if they really want new people, they have to make it accessible. They have to have an initial approach to the viewer and to Second Life that makes it kiss. Keep it simple and stupid.
True.
But not so simple that it requires Senra.
No. I said keep it simple.
In my opinion, but okay.
Yeah, that's that is still a look that I even upgraded our cameraman now with the free head and everything. I ended up doing an upgrade to our cameraman exactly because of that, so he doesn't look like a Senra avatar.
Yeah, I was doing the same a few days ago. There was somebody new joining Second Life, and they were still in that Senra avatar, and me and my friend just went around, right, and fixed everything with free stuff, of course, right, because even for guys, there was still the logo head that's free. It was still free, right? The legacy body, like the old one, is still free. We fixed him totally to look better than Senra, right, because, Senra's not it.
Now, July and Lewis are having a conversation on the background there about what could be improved to make so that the viewer would not lag so much. And July was saying that they need a completely new viewer. The problem is they tried that, or they tried something like that. It was the I can't even remember the name of the thing. You know, that platform that they created, and then it just died immediately almost. The what was almost supposed to be Second Life 2.0. The problem is that they would have to transfer. Yeah, I can't even remember the name now.
Oh, somebody's still playing it on my Discord. Let me see if I can find it.
Is that the one that everybody now uses? And is it a scammer place? It's a copybot kingdom now?
No.
They sold it right now to a new company, of course.
I'm talking about the one that had pre-prepared worlds and all of that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But the thing is, making a new viewer would most likely mean
Sensor.
creating a new sensor. Making a new viewer would most likely mean creating a new world like that. And it can't transfer what we have right now. So we'd have to keep on what we have. And the engine we have is, to all effect, to all purposes, it's an engine from 2002, 2001, 2002 that we are running, that has been Frankenstein to the point where we can still use it. It's not that easy. It's not that easy to keep pushing it to work on a completely different way. There would have to be a lot of changes. And because they have done some changes, users keep creating things. The thing that makes Second Life the laggiest, it's not so much the buildings or furnitures or no, it's us. It's our avatars. It's all of us. And it's not the script, Lewis, that make it worse, because the scripts are the lowest thing to run there. It's
the clothes
all
too. The
of
clothes
that
can be
crap
really
we
complex.
have. Yeah. When you upload, when you upload furniture and buildings and all of that, most people are looking to see, okay, I have to keep prims at a lower value. I have to keep a low prim usage so that people will actually buy this. So they put it on their homes and all of that. When people are making clothes, I want all of the detail, because it's not going to count into any prim usage, but it counts into what has to be rendered in front of us. So if 50 of us are inside a sim wearing the most high quality things ever, with the best bodies and all, yes, it's going to crash people. It's going to get people to be slow. Well, yeah, that's right, Colleen. So Colleen is saying you have to decide what you're willing to sacrifice: improvements or updated PCs. The thing is, what people are creating, and because most creators are not, they don't have notions of standards of AAA gaming. They're creating things that you would never see on a AAA game, because you wouldn't put that level of detail there. You see it when it's a game that allows for modding, and then modders go and put that stuff there, which makes it unplayable. It's really just for taking pictures. That's one of the big problems on this, I think. But correct me if any of you think I'm wrong. Did I lose everyone?
No.
But I mean, doesn't it bring us back to Project Zero?
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't it bring us all back to Project Zero? That's the whole point. Project Zero is a zero. It's kind of like you can be in South America and somewhere else and have internet and still do Second Life without having to have. You can have a potato and it works. But the problem is, like I said, it's
1 hour.
It depends on who you're. It's a 1 hour, but I mean, it's in testing right now. They were talking about potentially creating a subscriber model for that, and I'm like, I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that's actually a smart way of doing it, because a lot of the people who were in here, I'm pretty sure they would come back if they could come back on their potato and use Project Zero on a subscriber model. I think they probably would, especially because I know I know several of my friends who were premium who left because they couldn't do it anymore. And when I introduced them and mentioned the potential of Project Zero, they were really excited about testing it out and playing with it and seeing what it did.
True. That's true.
But Linden Lab also has to do something smart. I mean, if you're going to challenge a computer, if you're going to challenge a user, an end user, to have a really graphic heavy machine that works and that can run SL properly, then doesn't it make sense to make an association or some kind of marketing connection with a computer builder or with a manufacturer so that that dream PC or versions of it, level 1, level 2, and level 3, can be sold to the audience that uses this machine, that uses the interface. I mean, everybody, not everybody can buy a computer, but wouldn't it be nice to at least have that opportunity, at least have that connection where you could get a discount on a new PC if you're running Second Life?
I mean, yeah, but then you get to a whole another thing. That's been a bit of a situation there, but that's a completely out of the way thing. There's been a whole. I think it actually happened a lot in California too. There's a computer brand that was doing, instead of selling, they would rent computers. And in theory, after a certain amount of time renting, you would own it. But they were just going back. But they were going back on their contracts on that, and just basically, you never own it, and they would give you machines that were below what was promised. So yeah, but that's a completely different thing. There's always people
for
just
Project Zero. I'm not talking when I'm talking subscription model. That's what I'm talking about. But when it comes to dealing with a manufacturer, we're talking about dealing with a builder that has all the specs slated out, and you get the Second Life model.
Yeah, but that's another thing. If you go and you try to figure out,
deal, it's just a you buy it full out.
Yeah, but that's another thing. If you try to figure out what are the optimal specs for a Second Life machine, it's all very subjective, and you never get a direct answer on that. I've seen so many people asking that on Reddit. You never get a proper answer to that.
But it's because we've never had, because we know that they know what the perfect specs are at Linden Lab. How do we know? Because every single video that comes out of Linden Lab, every single product that they do, it's super clean. Anytime there's a video produced by Second Life, it's been done on a rig that can handle it.
Yeah, that's what they have to start telling us.
Just buy the
that's
best.
what they need to spill. They just need to spill. They need to spill what they use so that it makes it easier for us in the long run.
Because, you saw that I tried to get that also out of him yesterday when he was showcasing, when he was talking about the video that he did, because Philip did that whole video with the updates, with the viewer updates yesterday or whatever it was, and I asked, what exactly are you using there? There were absolutely no answer. I'm not asking just as a joke. I actually want to know, what are you using?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I think all of us want to know. That's right, Philip. You're hearing it here first. We want to know.
We want the specs. We want the specs on that machine that you're using, so we know exactly what the hell am I going to deal with.
Specs are easy. Latest graphics card.
Best
RAM.
I'm just using
processor.
a 4090 with 256 gigabytes of RAM.
Well, then it should run. You know what I mean? At least for a couple of years. Come on.
That should get you done. That should get you good until SLB to SLB 23.
Yeah, there you go.
SL23B. There you go. One more year.
That's with all of the games, right? So you have to buy something. When you're buying a new computer, just get like almost the best specs, right? Because then the computer would last for the next 5 years or 6, 7, right? Otherwise, in 3 years, you'll be like, fudge, nothing is running anymore.
Yeah,
that's the problem. Everything goes graphically so fast over, right? It's like, but yeah, I still think Second Life is I don't know. I run so many games, other games, and Second Life is the most hard one to run on my computer, to be honest, right? I play so many others. But
I
yeah,
I
it is
honestly
what
I
it is.
honestly can run Skyrim with almost 1,000 mods and run it faster than sometimes I can run Second Life.
I know.
And that is already a
That's the
nightmare
sad
because
thing.
you go and you download those mods and everybody then puts, yeah, here's some 8K textures. Why do I need 8K textures? I do not need 8K textures. Why do you have this?
I know. Louis said Second Life is the most expensive game I ever ran in my life.
It is. No joke, dog. Man, between the rent and the studio and everything, yeah.
Yeah, between the rig I have to run.
We need to shop.
I know.
Yeah, between the rig I have
We
to
need to
run,
shop.
then the shopping. Yes, it is.
I mean, could Nari look this fabulous without a budget? I tell you, no. She could not. It's cruel and unusual punishment to force us to budget.
Shopping and resources. Yep. There we are. We still come back, so it's fine, right?
No, it is, and the
now.
thing is how July is saying. There's some really cool stuff on Second Life. It has a really good really good physics engine actually, that is not used on anything. Because I mean, why? You can, and you can see it's used sometimes. It's used on several things. That's how you see people making football leagues, and by football, Catherine, I mean actual football. I don't mean whatever end hag thing you guys do have there.
It's ours
Yes,
want to be
yes.
rugby. I actually saw a real rugby game, and I actually liked rugby better than football. American football.
That's because American football is just rugby for sissies. Why do you have all that armor?
I still haven't.
Like,
It is because I really enjoyed. I watched my first rugby match in Ireland, and it was awesome. And I was hooked from that point on.
But you can make. I mean, there are football leagues, there are basketball leagues, all of that, because you can use those the balls and everything, and actually use the physics to work those things in a great way. I mean, the racing and all of those things, they happen because the engine allows for all of that.
And
What we have here is a place.
all sorts of cool stuff. Yeah.
What we have here is a place where you can have all the games you've played. They've improved. I mean, last year they've improved the whole shooting system. So shooters work in a different way, in better ways. So you can have all of those things. You can have all of those games that you've played all over the place, and you can have them all in one location, in one thing, which is Second Life. With the AI, with the AI avatars, you can very well set up and make RPGs where you have actual NPCs that work in completely different ways. There's so many things. One of the places I like to visit sometimes is the Silent Hill experience, which is very well done and actually works as a proper game, as a proper Silent Hill game. We have to find things and use that to solve the puzzles and everything. And you see that now with all of the, I mean, you're wearing the tag now, Catherine, with all the Mad P stuff as well. Yeah, there's so much.
Escape rooms, nice.
Yeah, there's so much that can be done.
Mad P is nice, yeah.
And we have it for another 5 more months, guys. 5 more months, so 6 months of Mad P.
Yeah, Void has the Dreamscape
Every time I say Mad P,
stuff.
I think PEE versus PEA. I don't know why. I just keep seeing a little mad leprechaun peeing in the distance. I don't know why. Every time I hear the word Mad P, that's the imagery I get in my head.
If you ever have the chance, you should also. I don't know if any of you have checked the Void shop. They also have a bunch of things.
Apparently I will.
Yeah, they also have a bunch of things, including they have Dreamscape, which you can put in your sim, and you and it has a bunch of scenes that will build up. You select the scene and it builds around you, and you can use that scene. Different scenes. They have RTS games. They have a faster than light space game where you have to discover planets, figure out if you can colonize it, and then try to do the whole thing. Yeah, whole games that are just inside one room and built up like that. It's really amazing. And all of this built in Second Life only. Because, yeah, you can do a lot.
And then you crash.
And then you crash. Yeah, and then that's the only problem. You're doing all of these things and then you crash.
Standard.
Or you're doing all of these things and then somebody comes up from behind you and starts hitting on you.
Oh, God.
And you're like, I'm just trying to play a game. What do you want?
I'll take that over crashing, but okay. We can handle people. The crashing is annoying, to be honest, though.
Yeah, they just need to fix some of the really... There was a time when I loved driving on mainland. I was never very good at it. Nowadays, it's even worse. Because you just crash all the time.
We're just... Tomorrow we'll do a grid drive, right? So we're doing these grid drives every Sunday, right? Sometimes. Well, we kind of missing a few of them now, but we did a lot of grid drives. Oh my gosh. The crashing, the just flying everywhere. When you cross seams, don't cross seams on a 3-part, right? You're gonna just fly up in the air. Your computer will never recover. It's horrible. When you could have such a good experience just exploring mainland, but half of the time you're just bothering because you're up in the air, or you just get stuck underwater or somewhere and nothing is moving anywhere, and you have to relog a couple of times. I wish this was like better done, because it would be much more enjoyable, right? But
there was a time when I used to go and ride a motorcycle with a friend of mine, and she would just drive at full speed in mainland and had no problems. Now, if I'm driving a car, I better lower my gear below third gear every time I'm going through a sim cross, otherwise I'm going to crash.
But wasn't it like a few years ago they moved everything to a cloud, so these sim crossings will be easier? But I don't know. I don't see much difference.
Yeah, but again, the problem with sim crossings is again the same problem with everything else. It's our avatars. When I used to do that with my friend, we had a lot lower quality avatars with a lot less stuff. Our inventories weren't full of crap. When you're doing a sim crossing nowadays, and we've been around Second Life for a long, long time. We have very detailed avatars. We have a lot of accessories, a lot of things, and we're carrying in our pockets inventories with 150,000 items. You're crossing a sim. It's not only you crossing a sim; it's you and all the things you have in your pocket.
So Nova Shine said, but why? Why do the avatars matter? What happens when you cross a sim?
You transfer into a different server, and that server has to load you. So if it has to load you and all the junk you have in your pockets, yes, it's going to be like that.
And we have a lot of junk in our pockets.
and the server is a physical thing, basically, yes. That is the problem with the whole thing. Not one for each scene, but yeah, they are on different servers. So yes, that's what's happening on that case.
We've been talking on this topic.
Their server room is not that big. Well, their server room is whatever it is that they have stored, because they're using Amazon, I think.
They're using Amazon Cloud, yeah.
Yes, Trump wants Greenland so they can put a bunch of servers in the ice.
Server rooms.
Second Life server rooms.
Maybe they'll run better in cold. I don't know.
Well,
they would run a lot better.
Server rooms cold? Aren't most server rooms cold? I mean, I remember I used to work for a.
Yeah, they have a bunch.
They have Greenland cold.
No, but if you stuff all of those servers in the ice, like that, they would run at peak efficiency. They would also melt all of Greenland, but
Look at Denmark.
Well, you know, Trump was never an environmentalist anyway, so
Yeah, so it is what it is.
it is what it is. Yeah.
it's easier to find all the gold and silver and all of that if you melt the ice that's on top. That's it. We're going to. It's not Trump that's going to buy Greenland. It's the Second Life community is going to buy Greenland from Denmark.
Linden Lab is buying Greenland.
So we can stuff servers in there. Hey, it's 35,000 people. We're probably bigger than the population of Greenland.
Half of them are bots.
We send the bots for it's Terminator. It's the War of the Machines again.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, I want to thank you both. So thanks, Naria, and thanks, Catherine.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
For being here once more. And I hope we do more panels like this with more people, if possible, on more things. We got to start doing these more often. Because it's good to have these discussions. And since we're getting more frequent news from Linden Lab, it's also a good way to discuss those things. So yeah. So thank you all. And I hope to see you again sometime soon.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you all on the chat. So thanks, Lewis.
Yes.
Thanks, July.
And Jasmine.
And thank
July,
you, Chili and Jasmine, June.
June Pickle, Blair.
Oh, we have July and we have a June.
Perfect.
Perfect. We need more months. Thank you all, and we'll see you next time then. Thanks.